The Bible then gives us a unique perspective on why we're here and what is happening next, and how what we're experiencing today is connected to the past and prepares us for the future. So I want to give you 3 words in starting: foreknowledge, prophecy, and sovereignty. Foreknowledge is the fact that God foreknows the future. He knows what is going to happen before it happens. Now, this is a mind-blowing concept for us because we don't know the future. In fact, so much of life on the earth is spent trying to predict and anticipate the future. When will the economy turn around? When will the real estate market hit the bottom and start to bounce back? When could the next terrorist strike happen, and how will we prevent it? What's the next big idea that we could invest in and see our portfolio increase? What's the next big marketing strategy that would help us get the word out? Where are the opportunities? Where is culture going? Who has the wisdom for the future? And quite frankly, no one knows the future. Some people will have confidence, some have the occasional right guess, but none of us has full foreknowledge of the future. None of us knows in detail what's going to happen, but God does. God has foreknowledge. God foreknows what will happen. God is without beginning or end. God is over time. He works in time, but because He is apart from time, He sees time in as much as we're able to consider it as a completed whole. So God has foreknowledge of the future. That leads to number 2, prophecy. And prophecy is where God tells us the future. So God, who knows the future, reveals the future. And roughly 25% of the Bible at the time of its writing was prophetic in nature, God telling us, here's what's going to happen in the future. Much, if not most of that, around the coming life, death, burial, resurrection of Jesus Christ, the hero of history, the story around which every story finds its meaning. So there is foreknowledge, God knows the future; prophecy, where God tells us the future; and then sovereignty, where God orchestrates history and the future to fulfill all of His prophecy, to bring to pass all of His foreknowledge. And the Bible uses this language in various ways and places. And what we're going to see today is Jesus Christ. He has all 3 of these functioning in Luke chapter 21, verses 20 through 28, when He speaks of the times of the Gentiles. And this is the fulfillment of last week's sermon. There's so much in Luke 21 that we couldn't deal with it all in one setting. But here, we're going to conclude this unit of thought. But we will see Jesus here as God in human flesh on the earth, demonstrating foreknowledge. He knows in great detail exactly what's going to happen within the next roughly 40 years, as well as into the future. He prophesies it. He tells us exactly what's going to happen. And He is sovereign, and it all happens just like He says. And not just the Bible confirms that, but history and historians who are not Christians, they confirm this as well. So here we go. 3 big ideas, how to see history. I'll give you a bit of a precursor. He's going to tell us that the temple would be destroyed, and Jewish belief and practice, as was common in that day, was coming to an end. Number 2, that God was going to do something new. And it would be the times of the Gentiles. And Gentiles, non-Jews, would be saved. And then number 3, that Jesus will return. So these are the 3 seasons, epochs of human history. There was Judaism, and then it came to an end. And then there's the time of the Gentiles, where non-Jews start following and worshiping Jesus as the God of the Bible, and the fulfillment of prophecy. And then everything ends with the second coming of Jesus. And that's how we're to see history. That's how we're to see history and live our lives in light of it.